I asked about that. I asked about that in the meeting today. Madam told, no, somehow they had to arrange, but they are not asking them to write the A4 sheet and all. Any book is fine. Okay, some book will be there, some sheets will be there because they are at home. They have to manage.
Can you able to see this PDF? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Yes, please enter your USN in the chat box for attendance while joining itself. After joining, please you type your last 3 numbers in the chat box. Okay. So, okay, let me start with the. Yes, in the last class we have studied the autocorrelation and the cross correlation. Yes, anybody can explain what is this one? Autocorrelation? Is autocorrelation is nothing but what? That is a x of t and x of t plus tau. So that is the expectation. That is a mean of t. That is a signal, and that is a time shifted version of the same signal. X of t, that is the autocorrelation, and the cross correlation. In the cross correlation, here there will be a two signal x of t and y of t, and we are taking that expected or the mean value of x of t and y of t plus tau. Okay, and we also seen that what is the ensemble. Ensemble, it is a collection of samples. That means whenever in the first class we have seen that when you have a signal x of t, and we will take the samples, and those samples we are taking the average, so that will be difficult. Okay, so instead of that, what we are going to do is we will take the whole signal itself and we will take the average, and whose average is again equal to the ensemble average. Then that random process is called as the ergodic random process. Okay, so in the last class we are discussing what is ergodic random process. In the ergodic random process, what happens here? Instead of taking the samples average, what we are going to take is we will take the whole signal itself and we are taking the average, then whose average is again equal to the ensemble average. If it equals, then only it is called as a ergodic random process. Okay, so now if it satisfy that condition, then only it is called as an ergodic random process. And we will see that how we will take the average. You know that for a continuous signal, taking average is nothing but the x of t into dt over the interval, whichever that is your signal exists. Here we will take it as minus t by 2 and plus t by 2 and 1 by t. This is what that is average for a continuous signal. It is nothing but a integration of a signal over the time period t. And here we are taking it as limit as t tends to infinite. And we will use the notation like this. Please note this notation x of t. It is whenever it is we are representing a ergodic process, ergodic random process, we are using the notation like this, x of t. Okay, and here in the limiting process in the equation 1 indicates that the duration t over which the averaging takes place, it is long enough to give the reliable numerical result. And we will take because t tends to infinite, we should take in the practically it is an enough t so that we can calculate the average of a signal. Okay, yes, any doubt in this ergodic process? Hello, is there any doubt in this? If you don't have any doubt, then I will continue further. Okay, so now here, so now if you're given the notation for the average over the time, an autocorrelation function is written as like this. You already know the autocorrelation, how it is defined, x of t into x of t plus tau. So here for a ergodic process or the average averaging over a time, it is denoted by this symbol. Please you observe this symbol. And it is integration of x of t into x of t plus tau over the interval minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 and the divided by 1 by t, and the limit t tends to infinite. Okay, so this is the same thing, but here we are taking the, what is the difference? Can you tell me what is the difference between ergodic process and your normal autocorrelation? Here we are taking the whole average over the whole signal x of t, and it is in the mathematically, it is averaging is nothing but what? Integration for a continuous signal. Okay, so now consider the problem where consider the deterministic random process where y of t is given by a into cos omega ct plus theta, where a and omega c are constant and theta is a random variable uniformly distributed between plus or minus pi. A typical sample function obtained from the random process y of t is equal to a cos omega ct plus theta, and your theta is ranging from minus pi to plus pi. This problem already you have solved in the using the normal procedure, that is using the ensemble by using the PDF. Yes, Chandan Kumar, are you there? Chandan. Okay, you already solved this problem, but using what? You have taken using the, that is uniformly distributed PDF. Uniformly distributed PDF, it is given by 1 divided by b minus k. By using that method we have solved, and we have found the that expectation value and the that is the average value. Now we will use the, now we want to see that whether it is a, by using the this averaging over the time interval t using the integration of minus over the interval minus t by 2 and plus t by 2, we will see that whether we will get the same average or not. If it is the same average, if you are getting the same average, then it is called as a ergodic random process. Otherwise, it is not an ergodic random process. And now we will use this method. There in the previously the same problem is solved using the PDF. Now we are solving using the averaging. Okay, so now here we are taking the, that is y of t into y of t plus tau with this symbol, and we have to write it as y of t into y of t plus tau. Your y of t, it is given a cos omega ct plus theta, and it is omega t plus tau. Your theta is replaced with theta plus t plus tau. It is minus and the over the interval minus t by 2 and the plus t by 2, and using the all cos a plus b, we will use it as class a plus b plus cos of a minus b divided by 2, and after that simplification you are going to get it as this one. So it is a square by 2 into cos omega c tau into t, and here it is t tends to an infinite. Here that is, but it is maximally you can take it.
Ma'am, you didn't write 1 by t, no, ma'am. Limit t tends to infinity, 1 by t will be there, no, ma'am.
Why in by 1 by t?
Ma'am, go to the before page, ma'am. Here you missed 1 by t, ma'am. Here you wrote, and the next step you didn't consider that 1 by t.
Yeah. It is 1 by t, as t tends to infinite. Yeah, yes. Yeah, okay. So then, yes, please you, this is limit t tends to, yes. Please you make that, this 1 by t. Okay. Please add over there. Okay. Otherwise, while sending the notes, I will correct it and I will send the whole notes. Okay. So then it is, you are getting it as a square by 2 into cos omega c tau. Have you remembered this equation? Same equation you have got it. So then instead of here also, when the mean and the variance is calculated, it is same as this one, omega cos omega c tau. So it is an ergodic random process. Okay. Understood? Any doubt? Jaswant, understood what is ergodic random process?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so instead of taking the sample average, we are taking the whole signal and we are averaging it. And when the average, it should be equal to what? Ensemble average. Then only it is called as the ergatic process. In these sample average, how we are taking considering the PDF. But here we are considering using the what? The interval over the test period. And both, if both should be same, then it is a ergatic random process. So now the definition in the exam, you may ask what is ergatic random process, and I give an example. And here the definition is given. A random process is ergatic if time averages with the sample function equals to ensemble average. Okay, this is the definition that I hope you understood the meaning. And the example is, you can give that for if it is 2 or 3 marks. That is, so the studies confirm that the thermal noise in a resistor is an ergodic random process. Okay, and the thermal noise in a resistance is given by V square T, and it is 4 kT into Br. B it is bandwidth and K it is the Boltzmann constant. Okay, and this is the, so the example you can give the, that is thermal noise in an ergodic random process. Okay, so and the write the this equation, because this is important equation. Again, the same thing equation we are going to study in the noise part. Okay, so now we will see the, what are the practical consideration for the ergodic process. Okay, so we have seen that ergodic random process do occur in practice, and we should, however, give a thoughtful attention to any random process that we have to work with before the ergodic assumption is made. That means I can't apply this ergodic assumption for all the random process. I should carefully think and have to apply this ergodic process. Now, what are the, we have to take is, an ergodic random process is a wide sense stationary, and the reverse is not true. Reverse is not true means your wide sense stationary process can't be an ergodic. It may be true or the reverse is not true. Okay, ergodic random process is a wide sense. If it is a ergodic random process, then it will satisfy the condition that it is a wide sense stationary. Yes, what do you mean by wide sense stationary? Yes, anybody can tell? Sukruta, can you tell what is wide sense stationary? Yes, anybody can tell? Yes, Rohit Vijapur.
I don't know, ma'am.
Stationary, you know, wide stationary. Stationary means what? What do you mean by English meaning stationary?
Which does not move.
It does not move. So if I tell the expression x of t is equal to x of t plus tau, is it applicable for stationary signal?
No, ma'am.
No, it is correct. No, it is time invariant. X of t is equal to x of t plus tau. It will, same thing. Stationary means when you time shift also, it will appears as the same thing appears. So you can't able to, though it is moving, you are not able to see that movement because their characteristics will not change. At that time when you find out the mean and the variance, it will be same. So then we will assume that is if the cause it is moving in the CRO, you can't able to that it is a moving, because it will assume to be an stationary. Understood? So in the wide sense stationary means their mu will be constant, and also when you take the autocorrelation means your x of t and x of t plus, it does not depend on the t absolute time, it depends on only the time difference tau. When you take the autocorrelation, then only it is called as, if two conditions are satisfied, then only it is called as wide stationary. Okay, understood? Rohit Vijapur, understood? Hello? Hello, Jaswant, you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, Rohit, are you there? Any problem in the network? I hope you have understood that. Okay, next I will go further. What are the practical consideration? Here we know that that is ergodic process. It is defined like this, and we are taking the average over the minus t by 2 and the plus t by 2. And you know the equation x of t into x of t plus tau and the limit. But practically it has the limit we can't able to apply for t tends to infinite. Because always there should be an what, however it may be large, there will be a time limit is there. Okay, so that can't be possible. So that what we are going to assume is, and also we will think that this is we assume that x of t is a sample function from a wide stationary random process, then x of t is considered to exist for all time. Okay, all time means what? The t tends to should be minus infinity to plus infinite. But in the practical, both are not possible. So what we'll assume that is some time duration, that is a finite time. So we will define x of t is equal to x of t in between the variable 0 to t and 0 otherwise. You understood this? What are the practical problems is the limit t can't be an infinite, and so that this will we will give to this problem. Actually it is minus t by 2 plus t by 2. It doesn't affect when you take it from the minus t by 2 or plus t by 2 or t by 2. Why? For a wide stationary process. Why? Can anybody can tell why it will not affect? Yes, why it will not affect? Because it is a wide stationary means here whenever the autocorrelation function depends only on the your time difference tau. It does not depend the absolute time t. That's why here whether you take it from 0 to t or minus t by 2, this one it will not affect. So that's why they have given for it there while explaining instead of this. Otherwise you can write it as minus t by 2 plus t by 2. Practically we will take it as 0 less than t. This is a more practical approach. Okay, so now the autocorrelation integrand of the equation 2 is, now if I apply the same process, because limit t can't be applied for t tends to infinite, approximately equal to this 1 by 2 and 0 to t minus tau x, and this expression, that is autocorrelation x of t into x of t minus tau. Why I am changing this? How we are changing this limits? Because if I x of t, it is, you observe this waveform. If x of t it is there, it is starting at from the 0, and x of t plus tau it is starting from the minus t plus tau. Same thing at when it ends, it is ends at the t minus tau. If I start taking it from so that, but I will take it only this value from 0 to t minus tau. That is why here the limits are changing here for tau greater than or equal to 0. Actually I should take it as tau to this one, but here they have given the condition tau greater than or equal to 0. I will get only this positive value. Okay, so then that is, this is nothing but your Rx of tau. It is given by, this is expected value, that is R cap. It is nearly equal to that value. Usually we will represent it as R cap, and it is nothing but the 1 by 2 and the same expression it is written. And the integral equation may be approximated numerically with t, but we are, whenever you are processing the signals, we are taking the samples. So we will consider that samples rate and the sampling interval delta t, and we are modifying the equation delta t. I think you have studied what is the sampling. Yes, have you studied the sampling?
No, ma'am.
Sampling, because this all we are studying, this random process especially we are studying with your signal processing or for your communication system. As a majorly, that is why they have kept it for your fourth sem. Have you studied analog communication in this one, third or fourth sem? No.
No, ma'am.
Okay, I think previously here have. Because sampling means whenever your sine wave it is transmitted, because it is analog signal, it is as it is, it will not be transmitted. It is sampled. Sampled means at the particular time, instead of I will only take the samples. Okay. And I will take the only, I will break the sine wave into some samples. Okay, I will, that means there will be a switch. You assume there is switch, I will switch on, only some portion of the sine wave will be transmitted. When will switch off, then no signal is transmitted. Again, it is switch off. So that I will consider, I will transmit only A, because I'm converting that analog signal into a digital pulses. Okay, pulse by pulse I will send instead of sending the sine wave. Understood? That means I am taking the samples. And at the receiver side, what I am going to do is I will receive those samples. From those samples, I will reconstruct the signal. Okay. So that is why where we have to be using all these concepts. Okay, so that is why okay, just you remember this x of t, where the t it is, because there the timing interval is at what interval you are taking the samples of sine wave. If it is sine wave is there, if every 5 seconds if I take, so that is so many samples I will get. That depends on this n into delta t. N is total number of samples and delta t is the small sampling interval. So then t it is your frequency. That whole time period is divided into so many number of samples, each with time interval of delta t. Okay, so here your t will be replaced by k into some delta t, same thing. Okay, so that's why these you are going to study all this concept with the perspective of your communication. Okay, so now you understood that one. Okay, so that means correlation and the autocorrelation and the ergodic process. I hope you have understood this. Next, we will see the one more this for the discrete sequence. Can you able? Yes, I will share the one more PDF. Yes, can you able to see this PDF discrete data sequence? Yes, can you able to see? Yes, can you able to see?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now the same thing, how the autocorrelation function it is applied for the discrete data sequence. If it is 1, 0 and all this. Now we have seen that is a time shifted version of your autocorrelation. It is a x of t, and the time shifted version of the x of t you are calculating. If it is a sequence, that means here it is only in you have studied in your signals also system. You have solved some problem, no discrete. At 0 it is of some amplitude, some arrow you are showing, and that is a discrete sequence. Okay, so then how we are taking is x of k and x of k plus I. Again, it is the same thing. That is the shifted version of that is the multiplying that average. You are there also you are calculating the expected value. Here also you are calculating that is the average value. Expected value is nothing but the average value. That is nothing but that 0 to n minus 1 minus I. Same thing here. For a discrete, instead of integration, we are going to write it for summation. Mathematically, that is a summation. And for capital R is for the continuous signal. For a discrete data sequence, it is a small r. Okay. So now we will study for the cross correlation. Cross correlation, it is x of t and the y of t. It is jointly ergodic. Then how it is defined is, this is the ergodic. Then whenever the word it is ergodic comes, the symbol will be like this. Okay, and it is averaging over then the integration will be minus t by 2 and plus t by 2 and the 1 by t. T tends to limit, and this function x of t into y of t plus tau. Again, that is the cross correlation. This is x of t into y of t plus tau. Same thing it is written, that is 1 by t. If it is y of t, it is first comes, then here also this is in the equation, this comes. And if it is same thing, if it is for if you considering for the samples, then the t will be replaced by k into delta t, and n delta t it is the number. Delta t it is the n delta t is the number of samples with the duration of delta t. Same equation it is written considering the sampling interval. Okay, same the equation for a discrete sequence, how it will be written as x r x small r x y of I is equal to x of k into y of k plus I, and k is equal to 0 to n minus 1 minus I 1 divided by n. So again we are taking the average of the sequence. Understood? Any doubt in this? Understood? Is any doubt? If you don't understand, write n so that I will explain once again. Otherwise, I will go further with this next thing. Okay. Next is very important thing in the communication. What is the power spectral density? Okay. Before going to all these equations, because anyhow it will be all equation. But what is the necessity of studying the power spectral density? Okay, power spectral density is what? That means it is related to some frequency characteristics. Is it not? Then why we need to find out the power or that is the power of the frequencies? Okay, in a communication, we will send the signal, and at the receiver side, we will receive how to reconstruct the signal. For this, x of t, and we are going to study have you studied the Fourier transform in the signals and system? Yes? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what
It is going on, ma'am.
What do you mean by Fourier transform? Don't tell that expression and all that. What do you mean by that? What is why we are so many application of Fourier transform? Anybody can tell? You will study so many properties of that and all this. Can you explain why it is important to study this one? Or any, yes? Anyone can tell? Jaswant? Don't know? Jaswant?
It represents any signal into sum of cosine signals.
Yes, that means it is some of the cosine signals. That means what does it mean? Means if that means we can send any signal, any waveform can be represented or can be reconstructed with the sine and these cos waves. And if there is you are also studied in it is in the frequency domain or in a time domain?
The time domain, ma'am, I think so.
No, but it's in the and have you studied the Fourier transform pair? Okay.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Here cos and sine means it will comes where cos and sine means obviously there will be some frequency. Is it not? Okay. Then it is a frequency domain. So then we are talking about some transformation from the time domain to the frequency domain. Then the question arises, why we need to do that transformation? So because some of the characteristics are more visible in the other domain. So whenever we are able to get those characteristics, it is very easy to, so that we can accordingly we can design our system. Okay. So when you transmit over the period, when you write the sine over signal, okay, sine signal, how will you write? As a x-axis over the t, and we will write the t. At the receiver side also, if you represent the same, you are not able to get any information. Designing a filter, it will be difficult. So if we convert there in the frequency domain, there I will get some of the information. I think you have studied at some frequencies, you have write it as a bandwidth of, I think you have studied any problem in the signals and system, I think. And both of them, the left side or the right side of the signal, you have written the like a rectangular or a triangular type of the waveform. Is it? Okay. Yes. Have you studied such type of problems in signals?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I have to write and I have to show. Then okay. Then here what happens at which frequencies you are, that means frequency domain. If you are sending some frequency, and because modulation it will occur, so in the modulation you are changing the frequency. If you are using the frequency, and if frequency modulation and amplitude, you are changing the amplitude of the carrier. At the receiver you are going to receive the carrier. Okay, now from the carrier you have to generate your message signal. So then You have to design the, at the later stage, what you have to do is you have to design the filter. While designing the filter, what should be your important is your cutoff frequency. It is important. You don't know what is your cutoff frequencies, but you know what is the signals you have sent. From those signal you have sent, what you are going to, when you convert that into a frequency domain, you are going to get the spectrum at the frequency domain. So there, that will tell that, okay, here you assume that you will see, you will get the spectrum like this. At the you will get the spectrum like this and this. So what it indicates, by looking at this, what happens? What you will interpret from this, your signal, it is present in these areas, okay, in between these frequencies. Okay, so I need to take these frequencies as a reference in order to reconstruct the signal. Okay, so there it will give a very information about the frequencies. So in which frequency your signal will be more. In all other frequencies, because your signal exists only at the omega 1 and the omega 2, in all other cases it is 0. So that if I know this, I can design the filter, bandpass filter, according to with the W1 as W2 as my cutoff frequencies. Understood? Yes? Getting my point? Yes, any doubt in this? Okay, that's why later it is only the mathematical part. So that is why you are going to see that. And there that is power spectral densities is there. You are going to get what is the power at these frequencies. This will help you. Okay, so now with that understanding, we will study this all mathematical equations. Okay, only the integration it will show, and what is the, okay. So now power spectral density, because there are so many random processes are there, and these contain the signal from the variety of systems like a transducer, filters, modems, and they are described in terms of their frequency characteristics, because how they are defining is in what frequencies or on what bandwidth they are operating. Okay, then only I can, because they are not defined as it is, they are defined in terms of their frequency characteristics. So that means till now how we have studied is, we have studied the random process in terms of the correlation functions. Is it not? Correlation functions. But now we want to introduce the spectral component in that. Spectral component means here we want to introduce a frequency component in the random process so that we can understand better. Therefore, it is necessary to include a spectral description of a random process. So, we have to include a spectral description. In order to do that, which is the tool it is used is the Fourier transform can be used. But the Fourier transform cannot be applied directly to weights and stationary signals. There must be, it needs some function x of t which should be absolutely integrable. So I should bring down that into so that x of t should be there, then only I can able to apply this Fourier transform for this. Okay, so your Fourier transforms and all this will play an important role in your signal processing and the communication. And a sample function from a wide sun stationary random process exists for all the time. Therefore, requirement is x of t into dt. Okay, that signals in it is integrated over minus infinity, it should be bounded signal. Okay, this cannot be satisfied with an arbitrary sample function. To overcome this difficulty, so because it is infinite, minus infinite to infinite, we can't able to study the signal. What we are going to do is we will limit ourselves to a window. Window means we will define the time limit, and we will study what are these characteristics of these signal. And this window it should be large enough so that I can study the signal. So that is why it is defined with a window with a width t, and the time t should be enough. So there I will get it as this same thing. It is, I will study the characteristics, and that is defined x of t between the interval minus t by 2 and plus t by 2. And the width of t it should be large enough. And we denote this by letting t tends to be infinite. How much it is large enough? Mathematically, we will define it as t tends to infinite. Okay, t tends to infinite, and so as long as t is finite, the Fourier transform can be applied to a windowed sampled function. The resulting Fourier transform pair is there. So here xt of j omega. Here it is whenever omega comes, it is in the frequency domain. So how to convert? That means you have a time domain signal and we are converting that into a frequency signal by multiplying with the, this is the equation for the Fourier. Okay, so to convert the time domain signal into frequency domain, x of t that you will take multiplied by e to the power of minus j omega t into dt integrated over minus infinite to infinite, and wherever xt exists, then you can change these limits to that one. And if it is, again there should be an vice versa. I should be able to reconstruct that frequency domain signal into an again time conversion, again time domain signal. What is that equation? Xt of j omega into e to the power of j omega t. So here it is minus j omega, here it is plus j omega into divided by 1 2 divided by 2 pi, and these are called as the Fourier transform pair. Understood this? Any doubt until now? These are the, so what you have to remember is, whenever, because these are equation you will going to use in future also, in next semester also, these are the Fourier transform pair. Given a time domain signal, you should be able to convert it into a frequency domain signal using this equation. And the next equation is using a frequency domain signal, you should be able to convert that into a time domain signal. As I told, why these, it is necessary in the one domain to another domain. Some of the characteristics are visible, more clearly visible in the frequency domain, and some of the characteristics are visible in this one. So I will utilize the both for my designing of the equipment purpose, by design of the equipment. Okay, and what is this? It is next is power. How we will now, that is what we are defining this equation. Finally, whatever we are doing is, what is my aim is, I want to find out where the signal is distributed. So that's why I'm going for this power spectral density. So now I will talk about this power. Power is, you know that is a signal, its square. And this is how we are power mathematically. It is defined as 1 over t into x square t over the interval minus t by 2 plus t by 2. And it is using the windowed sample function. It is in generally, it is minus infinite to plus infinite. And this is x square of t. How I will write? X of t. And this another, I will convert x of t into e of j omega t using this equation. Okay, then interchanging the order of integration, it is only a mathematical 2 pi t and this equation, and I will get it as x of t of j omega into x of t of minus j omega. And if x of t, it is a real function, then both x of t of minus j omega is x of t of conjugate of j omega. So in general, I will replace this by 1 divided by 2 pi t into x of t of j omega whole square. So power, it is nothing but x square t, and in the frequency domain, I am going to write it as x of t j omega whole square divided by 1 divided by 2 pi t. Okay, so these are my equation. Again, summarizing the sequence of same thing they have explained. Here power in the time domain x square of t, limits are minus t by 2 plus t by 2, and here for a frequency domain I am going to take it as 1 divided by 2 and the integration of minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, so now we will do this. The same thing, this is for only the arbitrary sample taken from an ensemble of a random process. We now extend this equation to the entire ensemble. That means here it is now, so that is small x of t, we are calculating only for a power of only a small function. Now it is applied for a whole samples, that is whole signals, and then it is defined by denoted by capital X of t. Okay, then it is denoted by capital X of t, and this is the equation. Now you are taking the expected value, and Yeah, that is you are applying the expected value for these integrations, and E of x square t is a constant for Whiteson stationary random process. Okay, then it is, I will take out this E of x square t into dt, so that it is when dt, when I integrated, I will get the t, and it is 1 by 2 pi E of xt of, and by using this you already know that that is Rx of 0, that is Rx of tau is nothing but E of x square of t, x of multiplied with the expectation of x of t into x of t. So that is nothing but the Rx of tau. There is no time shifted, the same, I am multiplying with the same signal with the same signal, that is I am finding the mean, then it is Rx of 0. It is nothing but the sigma x square plus mu x square. I think you remember this equation, sigma x square is equal to m1 square minus of mu x square. Using this equation we are writing. So I will replace this with Rx of 0, and it is 1 divided by 2 pi into this one. Now it is possible to take the limit, and we will apply the limit for this, because t it will comes here and we will apply this. And Rx of 0 is 1 divided by 2 pi. I will denote Sx of W into dy, where Sx of W, it is nothing but a power spectral density. It is this equation. It is E of x. This is modulus of xt of j omega whole square. So this power spectral density is specify how much average power is in the range of the frequencies. Okay, so it defines the power spectral density, defines what is the, how the power is distributed over the which range of the frequencies your power it is distributed, so that I can able to design the filter according to that. Okay, in the next class I will start with the problems on this, and next is